I'd like to talk to her.
I'm one of the rabbis here, Brian Shoulder. I just wanted to say hi, everyone. I just wanted to thank you all for being here and for helping Judy make beautiful music. So thank you very much. And it's really such a gift to the community. So thank you so much.
Are you going to stay?
What's that?
Are you staying?
Yeah. I'm going to do an interpretive dance.
There's a lot of bloody guts in this, you know. Oh, my mind is just going places. Everybody who's named Judy. Judy's here. Everybody who's named Judy except me. You got Vicky's and Judy's. I know, isn't that amazing? Three decks and oh, really? Where did she stay? Did you stay in New York? Great. No kidding. So they moved to right. And he opened up a nice grocery. Wait, that's what he did with Sunshine. Wait. See, one of the things about easier and all that stuff is back then it's free. But it's true, they all kind of brought it through all those. But we're talking about yeah, that's true. They, I mean, I guess they did. They're supposed to. I guess so. I didn't think that academia got as bad as it did. But I guess I'm wrong. Well, he didn't get him too. Oh, he's an engineer. This college fine. Oh, I'm having one of your daughters report. Yeah, you have to have two reports. Oh, on the yeah, it's a great report. Which did you? It's Dork. It's a Dork Brown. It's a Brown. No, it's a Brown. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Did I also give you the stuff I need? It is. Yes. That's a plastic property. I actually used it. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, both here and on live stream. Welcome to Adad Ariel for our annual concert by the wonderful Los Angeles Zimriyah Chorale under the direction of Nick Strimple. I am Judy Dubin-Aronoff. I'm the cantor here at Adad Ariel. Our rabbis are here too. Rabbi Brian Schuldenfrei is somewhere. I just saw him. And there he is. And Rabbi Leslie Alexander, I just saw walk in. There she is, over there. And I'm also the associate conductor of this fine ensemble. We are very excited, I'm super excited, to bring you a performance today of Handel's oratorio, Judas Maccabeus. As you can tell from the title, this is very timely as Hanukkah begins 1 week from tonight. Oh my, where did the year go? Before I forget, I just want to say that all-important and omnipresent announcement that you hear everywhere, please silence your cell phones. Thank you very much. So in a few moments, our conductor, Dr. Strimple, will introduce the concert with a few comments about background, and he'll set the scene for us. For those of you here, I hope you have a program. The programs you can refer to for the order of the pieces as they come, and also there's an insert of the text, which also says which, in some of the cases, which characters are singing which roles. For the live stream people, you don't have a program, but don't worry, Nick will fill you in with all of his information. Before that, I would like to make some thank yous, because I don't want to do it at the end, because I want to leave you with this magnificent music in your heads. First of all, I thank you all for attending today. So thank you very much. You can give yourselves a round of applause if you choose to. And to our wonderful choir, soloists, accompanists, to Rand Harris, who is always so busy scouting out performance venues and the like, and to our wonderful and inspirational leader, conductor, director, Nick Strimple, who has been with us from the very beginning. Our group is 24 years old, and we are very proud to be together for that length of time and to be able to make music together, and it is a joy and a pleasure to do so, I have to say. I would like to also thank the team here at Adad Ariel for making today possible, particularly the following: my assistant, Rachel Freed, our creative director, Herschel Bliefeld, who made these beautiful programs, which members of the choir were just talking to me about a lot. Very beautiful, so thank you to Herschel. Our events and program coordinator, Liron Tal-Devere. Our sound engineer, Jeb Lipson, who's in the back. Our facilities director, Patrick Miller, and his staff. Also, of course, to our rabbis, Rabbi Schuldenfrei, Rabbi Alexander, and for our post-concert reception, thanks to Andres Kosher Caterer. And to our usher, Peter Levitan, in the back. Thank you, Peter. At the conclusion of the concert, please join us for a dessert reception right behind here. You go out and around to Jacoby Social Hall. Finally, if you would like to round out your afternoon of music right here at Adad Ariel, you can go to something completely different, but also loads of fun. Russell Hall, which is right down, you go outside here and you go right down the exterior corridor. At 5 o'clock, there will be a discussion about Jewish composers and lyricists on Broadway by professor, author, and our rabbinic intern, Jill Gold-Wright. So that should be also wonderful. So you can just like make it a whole afternoon. And it is now my honor to introduce our fearless leader, Dr. Nick Strimple, who will share some thoughts and information about this magnificent piece that we are about to perform, Judas Maccabeus. Thank you.
Thank you. Have any of you ever heard Judas Maccabeus in concert before? Some of you have. You're very lucky. You know, it isn't done as much as it used to be. There was a time when it was very, very popular. And it was so popular, in fact, in the beginning of the Nazi era in Germany, that the Nazi government actually commissioned 2 new libretti to substitute for Handel's libretto so they could still do the piece. One of them was called Wilhelm of Nassau, and the other one was called Der General. The latter gained popularity, and it was done that way many times during the 30s and into World War II in Germany. Of course, Der General, now the great leader, the implication of that text is not Judas Maccabeus, but Hitler. To reclaim the work in 1943, Max Helfman, who was at that time living in New York and conducting the Jewish Workers Chorus of New York City, Max translated part 3 of this work into Yiddish. I think we've done it here for you in Yiddish some years ago. Very interesting translation, because in the final chorus, Max Helfman did more than just translate. He created a new text that praised the Soviet army, who was just then moving into the eastern part of Russia fighting the Nazis. So it was very much a translation for the time. Now, why did Handel write this? He made his living in England as an entrepreneur, and the oratorio form became, in his hands, very popular. And he kind of had a monopoly on it in London, although it wasn't an official monopoly. He just was the only person that thought of it. The theaters were closed during Lent, and he got permission to do oratorios, which are works based on a religious text or moralistic text. This is how the oratorio form started in Rome in the early 17th century, because the theaters were closed, and it was an ugly thing having all of these musicians running around unemployed for 40 days. And so the oratorio actually sprang up about the same time that opera started, and they were given in churches as teaching pieces during Lent. So in Handel's case, his oratorios were never designed for a church. They were done in theaters, usually in the Haymarket Theatre. Those of you that go to London, you may have attended a play in the Haymarket Theatre. And so he produced 3 a year. He got the libretto. He worked with a librettist during the summer. He wrote the music in the fall. He went into rehearsals after New Year's, and then they were performed in the spring. And a set of 3, they were all done to subscriptions. He sold the tickets mostly to the aristocracy. Judas Maccabeus is the start of something new for Handel, because he decided to broaden his audience base. He changed librettist. He got a man named Thomas Morell, who was more in tune with what was going on in the street, much less sophisticated than the other librettists that Handel had worked with. And they created this, and among other oratorios, and Handel started offering ticket sales to the general public. And the new works, like Judas Maccabeus, were designed for a broader audience. So in the case of this work, it's all about pageantry. There are no dialogues between characters. There are still recitatives that carry the action forward, and arias that comment on that, and big choruses. But there's no drama like there is in some of his other oratorios, like Saul, for instance. So he's after a big audience. He also wants to honor the Duke of Cumberland, who was the son of King George, who was Handel's patron. The Duke of Cumberland had just won the Battle of Culloden in Scotland, which put down the Jacobite revolt. And so it's interesting that he honors the putting down of a revolt with writing a piece about a successful revolt. But the English in the middle of the 18th century very much saw themselves as a parallel to the children of Israel during the time of Judas Maccabeus. They even, in the Anglican prayer book that was published in 1662, there are lots of phrases in the text that refer to the chosen people. But now they're referring to the English. They're not referring to the Jews. They really had this, they had read the Bible in such a way that they really saw what was happening in England as a parallel for what had happened in Palestine 100 years before the Common Era. So Handel writes this piece, and it is a big hit. He writes it, the battle occurred in 1745. This piece is premiered in 1746. Handel dies in 1759, and during the last years of his life, Judas Maccabeus was performed 64 times. Pretty popular, I would say. And right after, the next year, in 1747, he writes an oratorio called Joshua, and it is more or less a failure except for one piece. And that became very popular, and so when Handel does Judas Maccabeus in 1751, he adds this into Judas Maccabeus. And it is now the most popular part of Judas Maccabeus. That's a chorus called "See the Conquering Hero Comes." Now I understand Cantor Judy just told us, choir earlier this afternoon, that in Israel there's a Hanukkah song sung to this music. And Beethoven wrote a set of 12 variations for cello and piano on "See the Conquering Hero Comes." Very popular, but it wasn't originally part of the piece. You'll hear it today, though. Now, Judas Maccabeus is between 2.5 and 3 hours long. Did you bring a cushion to sit on? No. We're going to do a little less than half of it. We've cut out a lot of the arias and the commentary, but I've kept the recits and the choruses that keep the action going. And you've got the text as we're doing it in your program so you can follow along. It begins actually with the Israelites mourning the death of Judas Maccabeus' father. And then when they get ready for a new leader, they pray to God. This chorus is what we will start with. And then Simon, this character Simon, who was Judas Maccabeus' brother, sings some music that introduces Judah, and from there on we go to the first victories over Apollonius, and then the terrible news that who is the Syrian leader? Antiochus, right, I can never remember that name, who is coming to fight them anyway with elephants and lots of modern equipment, and everybody gets scared and goes into mourning again, and then the news comes that Judas Maccabeus has defeated Antiochus, and then they rejoice some more, and that's the end of the piece. It's really a great piece. I had forgotten how wonderful it is until we started rehearsing it. I haven't done any of it in a long, long time, and it's a real treat for me to get to conduct it for you. So our version is going to take a little over an hour, and just sit back and enjoy the afternoon. And thanks for being here.
the deity within. Oh, the bright cherubim between, his radiant glory erst displayed. To Israel's distressful prayer he hath vouchsafed a gracious ear, and points out Maccabees to their aid. Judas shall set their captive free, and lead us on to victory. Ye brave, ye brave, a noble cause, a noble cause. The cause of heaven your zeal demands, a noble cause. The cause of heaven your zeal demands, a noble cause. The cause of heaven your zeal demands. Ye brave, ye brave, a noble cause. Ye brave, ye brave, a noble cause. The cause of heaven your zeal demands, a noble cause. Ye brave, a noble cause. The cause of heaven your zeal demands. Your zeal, the cause of heaven your zeal demands. In defense of your nation, religion, and laws, the Almighty Jehovah will strengthen your hands. In defense of your nation, religion, and laws, the Almighty Jehovah will strengthen your hands.
I behold the spirit of our fathers, famed of old for their exploits in war. Oh, may their fire with active courage you, their sons, inspire, as when the mighty Joshua fought and those amazing wonders wrought, stood still, obedient to his voice, the Son, till kings he had destroyed and kingdoms won.
To heaven's almighty King we kneel, for blessings on this exemplary zeal. Bless him, Jehovah, bless him, and once more to thine own Israel liberty restore. Come, ever smiling, ever smiling liberty, and with thee bring thy jocund train, with thee bring thy jocund train. Come, ever smiling liberty, come, ever smiling liberty, for thee we pant and sigh for thee, we pant and sigh for thee, with eternal pleasures reign. Come, ever smiling liberty, come, ever smiling liberty, with whom eternal pleasures reign.
Thanks to my brethren, but look up to heaven, let glory and all praise be given. To heaven give your applause, nor add the second cause, as once your fathers did in Midian, saying, the sword of God and Gideon. It was the Lord that for his Israel fought, and this our wonderful salvation wrought.
O Judas, O my brethren, you scenes of bloody war, in all their horrors rise. Prepare, or soon we fall a sacrifice to great Antiochus from the Egyptian coast, where Ptolemy hath Memphis and Pelusium lost. He sends the valiant Gorgias and commands his proud victorious bands to root out Israel's strength and to erase every memorial of the sacred place.
my arms, against this gorgeous will I go. The Idumean governor shall know how vain, how ineffective his design, while rage his leader and Jehovah mine. Sound an alarm, your silver trumpet sound, and call the brave and only brave and only brave around. Call the brave and only brave around. Sound an alarm, your silver trumpet sound, your trumpet sound, your trumpet sound, and call the brave and only brave, and call the brave and only brave, and only brave around. Call the brave, call the brave, and only brave around. Who listeth follow to the field again? Justice with courage is 1,000 men, is 1,000 men. Justice with courage, justice with courage is 1,000 men, is 1,000 men, is 1,000 men. Sound an alarm. Sound an alarm, your silver trumpet sound. And call the brave and only brave and only brave around. Sound an alarm, your silver trumpet sound, and call the brave and only brave and only brave around.
broke in spiry streams pursue the trailing smoke. The fragrant incense mounts the yielding air, sure presage that the Lord hath heard our prayer.
Oh, grant it him that our long woes may cease, and Judah's daughters taste the calm of peace. Sons, brothers, husbands, to bewail no more, tortured at home or havocked in the war. From Kaffa Salama on eagle's wings I fly, with tidings of impetuous joy. Come Lysias with his host, arrayed in coat of mail. Their massy shields of gold and brass flashed lightning o'er the fields, while the huge tower-backed elephant displayed a horrid front. But Judas, undismayed, met, fought, and vanquished all the rageful train. Yet more, Nicanor lies with thousands slain, the blasphemous Nicanor who defied the living God, and in his wanton pride a public monument ordained of victories yet ungained. But lo, the conqueror comes, and on his spear, to dissipate all fear, he bears the vaunter's head and hand that threaten desolation to the land. unto God, and high affections raise, to crown this conquest with unmeasured praise, with unmeasured praise.
Sing unto God and high affections raise, to crown this conquest with unmeasured praise, with unmeasured praise.
Sing unto God and high affections raise, to crown this conquest with unmeasured praise,
Rejoice, O Judah, and in songs divine, with cherubim and seraphim harmonious join. Rejoice, O Judah, rejoice, rejoice, O Judah, rejoice, and in songs divine, with cherubim and seraphim harmonious join, and in songs divine, harmonious join. Rejoice, O Judah, rejoice, O Judah, rejoice, rejoice, with cherubim and seraphim. Harmonious join in songs divine, with cherubim and seraphim, harmonious, harmonious join.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think there's refreshments in the other room.
Thank you, John Michael. It was great. It was great.
Wait, do what? What did he say? Sing like you've never sung before. Sing good. That's what Ira. Oh, I hate this man.
Daniel, Pastor.